What's going on, people? Welcome back to AFTV. Look, we're going to react to the team of the season. The Premier League 2023 team of the season has just dropped. Some Arsenal players in there, some Man City players in there, some Man United players in there. But I've got Robbie with me. Robbie, where are you, bro?
I'm just gone to watch my son play football. So sat in the car because they're out there warming up at the moment and it's raining. So I'm waiting until.
Well, you should be out there in the rain, Rob. Come on, you should be supporting him, cheering them on in the cold rain, man.
Yeah, listen, I will be out there in the rain, but why be out there in the whilst they're warming up? You know what I mean? I'll go out there in the rain. Hopefully, it might stop by the time the game kicks off. So let's do it.
Let's do this. Well, look at you. Look at you multitasking. What a father. Man's doing a video here on AFTV and then also watching his son. Doesn't stop for you, Rob.
It's my life, man.
All right, let's get into this. Listen, the first name on there is obviously we're going to start with the goalkeeper. Aaron Ramsdale made it, to be fair. Made it into the team of the season for the year.
Yeah, I think he deserves to be there as well. And it's great to, start it off with an Arsenal player in there. I think Aaron Ramsdale this season has been consistently good. We're top of the league. I'll say top of the league. well, actually, what I was going to say, we've been top of the league for most of the season. Yeah. And a lot of that in close games has been down to his brilliance in goal, So, we're gonna finish off, in the top two at least. So I think Aaron Ramsdale's been brilliant. Edison's been pretty quiet this year. I think Edison. It's been a pretty quiet year for him. And the other contenders like your Allisons and that have not had their greatest of. They're still great goalkeepers, but they've not been super brilliant. I think it was probably between Ramsdale and Nick Pope.
Yeah, Nick
Pope. I think Ramsdale's definitely for me the better.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Listen, we do player ratings. We do player ratings every week, and Ramsdale, like we always mention, always makes it
consistently good.
Arsenal. Yeah. Okay, let's go to right back. Kieran Trippier for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the whole? I know you love Ben White, and he said he should be playing for England and all that. And Ben White's had a great season, but is it a
Ben White's had a great
over Kieran Trippier?
Yeah, Ben White's had a great season, but to be honest, I can't argue. Trippier's been good as well. You know what I mean? And I think probably what you give him the edge this season is that he's also really good at set pieces. You know what I mean? He's corners, free kicks. He's been outstanding on that as well. So even though Ben White's had a great season, I would have loved to have seen him in there. I don't think you can argue Trippier. Trippier's been good. He has been very good. And they've been solid. That the back line of Newcastle has been brilliant this season as well. So can't argue that one. I think that's fair.
Yeah, we've got to go there this weekend, Rob. Trippier's going to be one that we've got to try and overcome.
Exactly. And I remember when we played them earlier on this season, he played really well, to be fair. So you can't argue against that, I don't think. And he's been much better than your Reece Jameses and people like that as well. So, yeah, I think that's fair.
Fair one. All right, let's go into the centre-back. Let's start with the right-sided centre-back, and one that, a man that we're missing right now, William Saliba. He got in there. Listen, he's been superb. He's been superb this season.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely spot on. He's been absolutely brilliant this season, and we've really, really missed him. And him dropping out of the team has coincided with our defensive problems. You know what I mean? And he has been that good. And when you think of this as his breakout season in the Premier League, his first season and full season in the Premier League, he's been absolutely amazing and been a real big miss for Arsenal. Really has been. In this running. It's been a real shame, but I'm glad to see that he's rewarded by being in there because he's been excellent.
Yeah, massive. Listen, William Saliba's been the guy. It's a shame he's out of the team, but he's so solid for us. Imperative when it comes to our centre backs. Let's go to the other one, Ruben Diaz for Man City.
Yeah, you can't really argue against this one either because he has been brilliant for them. I mean, he was sort of injured at the start of the season, and then when he came back, he weren't kind of getting in at first, but since he sort of come back into City's team, he's been really good. He's a leader. He's solid. He's been one of the reasons why they've been so solid at the back, and hardly conceded any goals in the running. And if they win the league, which is looking like they will do, he's going to be an integral reason, one of them unsung people. So yeah, definitely, I think that he deserves to be in there as well. I wouldn't argue with that at all.
Yeah, William Saliba and Ruben Diaz. What a centre-back pairing that would be.
Yeah.
Left back. This one's an interesting one. It is an Arsenal player, but Zinchenko, Alexander Zinchenko, Robbie, the man who's been very good in our offensive play, has been questioned though defensively. But for me, obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so that you know how it goes. Zinchenko for me, I think it's the right option, but
yeah, I
an
think you know
interesting
what. Think about. Listen, you have to think about this. Don't just think about the last couple games where Zinchenko's made a couple of errors. Think about what this is. It's to a team of the season.
Yeah.
And Zinchenko consistently this season, I feel, has probably been the best left back in the league. He's been excellent. He's been excellent this season. He's the way he's adapted that position where he drops into midfield as well. We even see like Man City doing it now with John Stones on the other side. I think he definitely deserves to be in there. And I think, Zinchenko left back, definitely.
Okay, that's 3 of the back line, including the goalkeeper from Arsenal. So it's a good start. This is a good start from the team of the season. Going into defensive midfielder, I don't know, this one I know is going to get you, but Casemiro in the defensive midfield, a player that he's been good, but not always available. So listen, we talk about availability is the best ability, and that temperament that he has and that professionalism is very questionable. So he could have been up against Partey, Rodri, but they've gone with Casemiro.
Yeah, now I listen, I would love to get Thomas Partey in there, even though he, again, last couple games has not been at his best, but on the whole of the season, he's been excellent for us, right? But I have to say, I think Rodri should get it. I'm surprised that Rodri hasn't got this one because Casemiro's been really, really good, yeah, but he's missed so many games. I think he's got to miss a good 7-8 games through his indiscipline. And I think that has to count. That has to be a factor, because if you miss those sort of games, which because of your own indiscipline, which it has been in Casemiro's cases, remember that we got sent off for strangling someone and things like that. You're letting your team down, aren't you? So I think I remember that going back to that game when Man United were going to be playing Arsenal, and just before that he was on I think 4 yellow cards, couldn't afford to get a 5th, and then he stupidly makes a stupid foul on one of the Palace players and misses that game. And he missed a lot of big games because of his indiscipline. So I think that has to count towards it. Whereas Rodri's been kind of flawless this season, So for me, it has to be Rodri. I know Casemiro's the glamour name, and don't get me wrong. Before any United fans get at me, he's been brilliant this season. But for that factor, that has to be taken into account, and I think it should be Rodri.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to squeeze in the United player so it's not just
Arsenal. Yeah, maybe.
But let's go to the 2 players in front of Casemiro. Starting with a player that you questioned as world class, but I think you only questioned it. Kevin De Bruyne, who for me has been, we saw him against us. Oh my days, he deserves to be in there.
De Bruyne's in. De Bruyne's in. He's world class.
He is world class.
And I keep saying to people, what I was just asking the question, about on the world class thing, because he doesn't really do it. He hasn't really hit the heights at international level, but certainly in the Premier League, he's the best in that position, right? So I don't think you can argue that he has to be in there.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne definitely, and then the one next to him alongside him, our boy Martin Odegaard, the next Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe listen, there's been comparisons early on in this season and throughout the season, but Martin Odegaard, our captain, been a revelation for Arsenal. He's
been outstanding. Look how many goals he scored this season, by the way. He scored a lot of goals. From midfield is one of the things we've always said. We want a goal-scoring midfielder. He's been the captain. It's been a real breakout season for him. He's been brilliant. I guess the only other person that you could have thought about putting in there, I reckon, would have had a shout was that Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle. But I think the amount of goals that Odegaard scored, he's in there. And we're, as I said, we've been ahead of Newcastle for most of the season. So I think there's no, that'd be a formidable midfield, wouldn't it? So brilliant.
Yeah, just put Rodri in there instead of Casemiro, and that's perfect. But so that's 4. That's 4 Arsenal players in the team this season so far. We're going to go into the front 3 now, which has been this is where the controversy kind of starts for me personally, but I want to hear your thoughts. Mohamed Salah out on the right over Bukayo Saka. Now, is this bias that we want Bukayo Saka in there? Probably not for me. He's been the best player of the season for me at Arsenal, but
this for me is definitely squeezing in a Liverpool player, right? Because don't get me wrong, Salah does what he does every year. He scores goals, and he's a brilliant goal-scoring right-sided player. And even of late, you know, with Liverpool's charge that they're leading to try and get into the top four, Salah's the guy's leading that. He's been really good, but he didn't start the season well. I wouldn't say, if you spoke to most Liverpool fans, they'd say Salah hasn't had his best of seasons. He's been a bit inconsistent. He didn't kind of get going until sort of after the sort of Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It hasn't been his best season. Whereas Saka has been brilliant this season. All right, Salah scored more goals than him, but Saka scored a lot of goals. But Saka's had double figures in assists, double figures in goals. He's been Arsenal's best player this season. He's been outstanding. How he's not in that is ridiculous. He 100% gets into that lineup. I think this is a shoehorning in Salah type move, right? Because if you check it out, right, and you say the other names, there've been no Liverpool players in it. Maybe EA are thinking, boy, you know what I mean? We need Liverpool.
Yeah,
we need Liverpool fans to still buy our game. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Salah does not get in it ahead of Saka. And that's not because Salah is not a great player. As I said, he is amazing. He scored goals, but I don't think he's had, and his standards are super high, but I don't think he's had his best season. Or well, he's had a good season, but it's not been better than Saka's. No
100%.
way.
100%.
No
Saka's
way.
Been so
we've been top of the league for most of the season. A lot of that's to do with Saka.
100%.
You know?
100% scoring big goals in big games. I feel like Salah hasn't been. He's been playing okay, but he's having his worst season. I can't believe Saka's not in there. That is criminal.
Yeah.
Of all Arsenal players, that one we would expect to have seen in the team this season.
Man.
Going into the number 9 position, Julian Erling Haaland.
Yeah, let's just move on because I think that's the one. That's the one where there's absolutely zero argument from zero fans. Even the most biased of fans. Haaland he's ridiculous. I mean, listen, he's broken all records in his first full season. And to think there were some people saying at the start of the season, oh, you know, he doesn't suit them and he's going to affect how they play. And so he's been unbelievable. If they go on to win all these things, most of it's been down to his goals. It's his goals have been the difference.
Breaking the Premier League record.
So Haaland 100%.
Deserves, and it's nice to see that there's no Tottenham players in there because I know some people will be wanting to see Harry Kane, but no, not this season, my friend.
Harry Kane.
Let's go to the left side to finish off the last player. A player that is a double of mine, Marcus Rashford. But that is criminal in my opinion because I would have wanted to see Gabriel Martinelli. I think Rashford only hit form kind of towards the last stages of the season. Martinelli has been consistent this season. He scored the first goal of the Premier League season. He opened it against Palace, and he's been our top goal scorer. So I think it's criminal not having him in there. And that's not my bias. That is just he has been so good for Arsenal.
Do you know what I think on this one? It could go either way. It could go either way. I'm being honest. Like Martinelli has been amazing this season. He's been brilliant, but so has Rashford. So I just look at this one and think this is one that can go either way. Yeah, Rashford sort of got going after the World Cup. But you have to say, if it weren't for Rashford, where would United be this season?
Yeah, I hear that.
So I think I probably, if I'm going to be totally unbiased, and I love Martinelli, and because I'm saying Saka, and I'm going to be totally unbiased, I'll probably just edge towards Rashford just for the mere fact that if it ain't been for him this season, he's kind of carried United. I feel he's kind of carried Man United this season with his goals and with his goal threats. So I'll probably edge it Rashford. And I'm trying to be fair here. But it's just great.
I hear that. I can see that.
It's great that we got four Arsenal players in there, but it should be 5 because Saka should definitely be in there. If anything, that's, you know, honestly, that's one of the most glaring miss out of that whole 11. And I think that's just let's get a Liverpool player in there. But I think Rashford, I you know, he could go either way. And if he's got it, we just have to say.
Yeah, your signal.
Did I lose you?
it just dipped a little bit your signal there. But yeah, no, listen, I hear what you're saying. For me, Martinelli, regardless, that might be a little bit my bias. It's a shame if Mikel Arteta actually still favoured him, we might have seen a bit more from him as well. And he's been so good at top goal for Arsenal. So,
I love Martinelli, but even like maybe he's suffering from the fact as well that now brought in Trossard. Sometimes he gets left out. Trossard can't. Whereas Rashford, he's the main guy. He's the first person on that team sheet, isn't he, for United? And he's carried them. So I'm not going to argue with him. Yeah, I think fair's fair on that one. But the Salah one, to me, definitely Saka over Salah. And I think you get a lot of Liverpool fans agreeing with that as well.
100%. All right, well, that's it for the team of the season. That's us reacting to it. Before we go, manager to manage that team, it's between Pep and Arteta.
Yeah.
This is a
I'd
tough
go
one,
Arteta. I'd go Arteta because, Pep at the start of the season, everyone expected him to win the league. He also added Haaland to the team. So the expectations at the start of the league was they're going to win it. Now, especially now they've added the best goal scorer around. Whereas Mikel Arteta, expectations at the start of the season, speaking to, when you spoke to most pundits, literally 95% of them at the start of the season said that the person, Arsenal, would be outside of their top four. And for most of the season, we've been top of the league and we've been fighting Man City all the way to win it. So I think it should be Arteta.
Yeah, I agree. And when we play the most attractive football, I don't care what anyone says. Man City, all well and good. They're efficient now towards the end of the season, but the football that Arsenal play, it is just the most enjoyable to watch.
It should be Arteta because, Arteta has punched way above what people said he was going to do. You know what I mean? And he's built something really special. I think it should be Arteta. Even though, we may not win the league, but I think it should be Arteta.
All right, well, listen, thank you, Robbie, for joining me. Go outside now and get wet and support your son.
I'm trying to get him into the team of the season.
Maybe one day.
All right.
Maybe one day. But listen, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who's watched this. Let us know in the comments your thoughts and reaction to the team of the season. It is now out for you all to view. Thank you very much. Like the video if you like the video, and I'll see you again very soon, people. Take care.
Just to remind you about that big event live with an audience. And if you want to be in the audience, click the link in the description and get involved. Tickets selling fast for that event on the 23rd of May at the Islington Assembly Hall right here in North London. We're going to have loads of guests on the day as well. Talking about the Arsenal, you do not want to miss it, right? This podcast is a very special one. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be giving away a couple of tickets to it as well. But if you want to join us, get your tickets. They are selling fast. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.